Joining us right now in his, 30th year.
We'll go with that.
On the program. I missed his debut last week.
Yes. He did. He did not miss you.
Wow.
I don't know.
I missed him.
Maybe those were my words.
He's just a big, snuggly football expert.
Yeah.
Love him to death from CBS Sports. The one, the only. Why is Chris laughing? Dave Richard. Good morning, Dave.
I'm cheesing it up for the camera. Good morning, guys.
Love that. How are you, buddy?
I am really good. I have had the training camp that fantasy football geeks dream about. I've been to 4 joint practices. I've seen 1/4 of the National Football League practice. I've watched every clip of preseason football, the coaches film that's been out there. I haven't watched last night's games yet, but I've talked to people. I've been around. I feel like my brain is bigger than it's ever been when it comes to fantasy football knowledge. And with all that, I say, Jamar Chase is a pretty good receiver. I think you should take him in round 1.
Look at that.
Number one?
Genius. I'm open to it. I like Bijan Robinson better. I think he's got a chance to be better than what he was last year. Whereas I think Jamar Chase will be close to what he was last year. Chase had over 1,700 yards, 17 touchdowns. Those are big numbers to beat, Jason.
Yeah.
So I would lean toward Bijan Robinson first.
Notice, by the way, the proper pronunciation of Bijan. He corrected it in the offseason. Bijan. He said it's not Bijan.
Yeah.
It's Bijan.
Yeah.
That's an expert.
Yeah, Dave knows. Last week when we talked, he was at one of those joint practices.
Really?
Yeah.
That's right. I was at Bills Bears, Dave.
Joint practices sounds like something in college.
I went to Miami. How do you think I prepared for that?
Before we get started, I'm going to throw you a total curveball, and you're going to know what I'm talking about, and nobody else is going to know what I'm talking about, which always makes great radio. Remember when I tweeted the thing, and then you did the emoji and asked you why you did the emoji, and you couldn't tell me? Can you tell me yet or no?
I have absolutely no clue.
Perfect.
I remember doing something.
I tweeted about, okay, I don't want to tell tales out of, I don't want to put you on a weird, well, I do kind of want to put you on the spot, but again, maybe
hurry up.
Oh, it was the WWE deal with Peacock or something. And
I think, was it that or was it the UFC?
No, you're right. It was
Paramount.
The UFC deal and Paramount. And I tweeted, and then you just gave me this random like winky face or something.
Yeah, well, I know that you're a big fan of UFC.
I am.
And I work under the Paramount umbrella. We recently were acquired by Skydance. It's exciting stuff that's happening around here. And the UFC is going to be a big part of what we do. So I thought you would, just appreciate that. I knew that you would enjoy what's coming.
I love it.
With the UFC on Paramount and CBS moving forward.
I love that. So I think $4 billion for South Park, 7.7 for the UFC, probably somewhere in between those.
I mean, pretty
when
soon
they acquired you,
getting all of your favorite properties. Pretty soon, the Sacramento Kings will be broadcast live on Paramount Plus.
He said my favorite property,
Paramount Plus. At this rate,
Florida State football.
No,
it's Paramount Plus, David. We're not going to put that type of garbage on it.
Jason, go ahead.
You need to recover from that one,
yes,
don't you?
I do.
All right, so I think, Dave, we talked last week that a few people have had drafts. Maybe more and more are probably going to happen this weekend and in the next week or so.
For sure.
Any other kind of tips? Whether you kind of gave us the top of the draft. Let's say you're, I don't know, in a 10 to 12 player league and you're drafting about 7th and 8th in that range where you're not on the turn, but you're in the middle. Who are some guys that people could target kind of in that middle of the first round?
So why don't I just run down the players that I have in my top 8?
Let's do it.
You can stop me when there's a player that you've got a question about. You already know who my top 2 are. It's Bijan, it's Jamar Chase. Jahmyr Gibbs is 3rd. Justin Jefferson is 4th. Yes, I still have Justin Jefferson ahead of CeeDee Lamb, who's 5th. This running back that you might have heard of for the 49ers named Christian McCaffrey, he disappointed everybody last year. It was actually his calf that disappointed everybody last year. He's healthy now. We know he can score big points. He's 6th. Nico Collins is 7th. Saquon Barkley is 8th. And I'm going to stop there.
Yeah.
I think most people in their drafts this weekend, next weekend, they're going to see Saquon Barkley go a lot sooner than 8th overall.
Yeah.
Jason, did we talk about this last week?
No, I think that's why I was going to stop you and ask about him. So why do you have him at 8?
Because the track record of running backs that had as much work as Saquon had last year is troubling. Saquon had 482 touches between the regular season and the postseason. 430 of them were carries. He's something like the 28th running back in the last 35 years to have that much work. I'm not thinking about the 2,000 yards. I'm just thinking about the carries that he had. 17 of the 28 running backs or 27 running backs that previously had that much work fell off by at least 25% on a per game basis in fantasy production, or I should say, missed at least 7 games.
Oh, wow.
So Saquon's awesome.
Yeah.
But he's a human being. And then I've got these nerds out there that are like, well, Saquon is different. He's built different. He's got a great offensive line. And I get that. He's 28 years old, though. And there have been 2 times already in his career where he's had, 250 carries, 300 touches. And the following season, he missed 3 games, got hurt, and his fantasy production dipped by at least 12%. And then when I say that, the fantasy nerds come back at me and say, well, if he scores 88% of what he did last year, he'll be great. And that's true. But it's not first overall great.
Yeah.
When I'm taking a pick at first overall, I want a dude that's going to give me 20 PPR points per game.
Yeah.
I don't think Saquon's going to get there. But I have him at 8. So I certainly see that he's worth a first-round pick. I just would not take him as a top 5 pick in full PPR.
I like the fantasy nerd voice.
Nerds.
First and foremost.
Just nerds.
It's how I used to sound when I was.
Was there, I can't remember going back to last year, and I know you will, that was the same thought that you just had about Barkley kind of shared about Henry, who ended up having a massive year, or was he not? Is not the same comparison? It
wasn't shared about Henry, but it was noted about one Christian McCaffrey. Jason, you're the first person to ask me that. And it was something that I noted with McCaffrey because last year, when all was said and done, I believe he had over 400 touches. And look what happened to him. Mm-hmm. So Derrick Henry just defies everything when it comes to football because he's built differently. Mm-hmm. He's massive. I actually had a great conversation with one of our data scientists about how he's a data scientist, but he acted like a real scientist about how the impact of average sized NFL defenders trying to tackle a plus sized NFL running back like Derrick Henry. And like, he was talking about like centripetal force and like all these other, I just play fantasy football. I don't need a science lesson, but the idea was that Derrick Henry dishes out more punishment to the people who tackle him than those people do to him. And I think back and Derrick Henry has not had a soft tissue injury as far as we know since he's been a superstar in the NFL. The year he missed half the season, he broke a bone in his foot and he played through it for a game. So Derrick Henry, I just think is an anomaly. He's a different type of dude and he's in the perfect spot for him to keep just putting up huge fantasy numbers.
2 years ago was Raheem Mostert. Last year, I don't know if this qualifies, but it was a 3-way tie between Henry, Cook, and Gibbs. So let's call it James Cook, maybe. Okay. Who is this year's, in your mind, surprise-ish end zone guy?
The guy that's going to score the most touchdowns. Let's start with Omarion Hampton with the Chargers because he just really ended up being in a great spot. When he was drafted to the Chargers, we were nervous that Najee Harris was going to take work away from him. And then July 4th happened, and Najee Harris really hasn't practiced with the team since. So Omarion's already like well on his way to being the lead back for the Chargers, and we saw it from this Chargers coaching staff last year. When they recognized that they had a great player at a position, they fed that player the ball. Last year it was J.K. Dobbins. This year it's going to be Hampton. I would imagine he's got a chance to score a lot of touchdowns. I would not rule out James Cook being that guy again this year, Dave. Again, seeing him practice, he scored on Chicago. He's going to be the lead running back, for lack of a better term, in Buffalo. They do like to watch his carries, but he had 18 touchdowns last year. I wouldn't be surprised if he had 13 or 14 touchdowns this year and still came through as a good running back for fantasy purposes. And then a dark horse. Everybody likes a dark horse. Who's the guy that's going to do it that isn't going in like the first 5 rounds? Braylon Allen with the Jets. Is someone who look at Dave reaching for his pen. Braylon Allen it looks like he could be the short yardage solution for that Jets run game. I don't know how many touchdowns the Jets are going to score. I think their offense is kind of clumsy, but they want to run the football a lot. They want to take it slow. Braylon Allen's going to split work with Breece Hall anyway. I wonder if they're just going to lean on the bigger, stronger running back. And the guy that kind of reminds me a little bit of Derrick Henry as the guy that goes and takes on some touchdowns this year.
You know, Chris said in our ear, we have 1 minute, about 1 minute ago. I don't know how quickly this flew. We can't let you off the phone. You and I talked yesterday. There's a tradition on the show that goes back over a decade. Every year, Dave Richard has what we call the ALF. This is after the running back Alf Morris of the Commanders now. And if you would, Dave, I know he has Alf Block right now. He has a case of Alf Block. He's on medication. Yeah. A brief explanation, because we are short on time, of what the Alf is and who is your Alf this season.
It's a late round, under the radar pick, preferably somebody that the rest of your league has never heard of. 2 years ago, it was Jaylen Warren, who was pretty good for the Steelers. Last year, it was Josh Palmer. We're not going to talk about that.
Right.
I do not have a name yet for this year, but I've got some candidates. So here are some names for you to think about, and maybe you can pick one of these guys in your draft this weekend. Demario Douglas with the Patriots, Hunter Henry of the Patriots, Kyle Monangai, a rookie running back with the Bears, Ollie Gordon. Ollie Gordon could be that guy. He's a running back with the Dolphins, and you heard about the news yesterday about the Miami running backs. Dalton Kincaid is a blast from the past. I think he could be good. Raiders rookie receiver Dante Thornton has caught my eye. And if he somehow slips on draft day, Jared Goff is absolutely in play to be a must-start fantasy quarterback. And no one wants him. Everyone's scared to draft him. I'm not. So if you see him in round 10, draft Jared Goff.
I'm going Ollie Gordon.
Okay.
That's you know, he gets the final say, but that's my Alf.
Okay.
Dave, where can we see you, feel you, touch you, smell you, cuddle with you coming up?
No, I'll give you my address then.
Hey now.
No, listen, our podcast, Fantasy Football Today, it's more than just a podcast now. It's a live streaming show on YouTube. We are about to get started with a mock draft literally 5 minutes from right now. So if you're watching live, it's going to be at 7 a.m. your time in California. You can just go to YouTube, search for Fantasy Football Today, and you will be transported to a mock draft with the masses, and you'll be able to get some pick-by-pick advice on who's going to be good, who we like, who we think stink. It's all happening right now. YouTube.com, search for Fantasy Football Today.
They can also watch that on repeat after 10 a.m. as well, Pacific.
Whenever you want.
Dave, it's good to have you back.
Yes.
I know I'm a week late. Thank you. That means football is on the way. You're the best. We'll talk to you next week.
You got it, guys. Good luck in your drafts this weekend, everybody.
Thank you, sir. That is Dave Richard. We are way late for a break. When we come back, 3 for Madness, and the show moves on next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Keegan going for another.